welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Ali Wally. We got a special show for you today. It's been a lot of debate about the top 75 players, who should be in and who should be out. So we're going to have a discussion. We're going to speak on it. And to have this discussion, we had to bring in my man, Shovel Racks, and we had to bring Squirrel in the building to help us out and give us some insight on this. Make sure you go on YouTube, go ahead and hit that bell, subscribe to that page. Also, you can listen on Spotify, Spectator Sporting. The top 75, they had a top 50 25 years ago. Now it's 75 years in the NBA, so they made a top 75. So correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't take nobody out the top 50, right?
Right, you're right. Kept the top 50.
They kept the top 50. So basically,
and 26.
26. It's actually a top 76.
Yeah, that's weird. Why did they call it 76?
Supposedly it was a tie between AD and Dame, I think.
Okay.
So
okay, so
I didn't know.
I didn't know why.
It ended up being a tie between those.
Okay, all right. So like. Now, a lot of people, we go through the list and we be like, he shouldn't be on that, he shouldn't be on that. But now, we gotta think, if he ain't on there, or this person should be on there, who should be on there? So, Squirrel, talk to me. Let's start with this first. Who you taking off the top 76 list?
Okay, off the top 76, I'm taking off two people. My two people were Bill Walton and Bill Sharman. Bill Walton, the reason I'm taking him off is his career was just injury play. He only played 10 seasons. For his career, he averaged 13 points a game. His best year, he only averaged 19 points a game. He missed 4 years due to injury, and his prime was just too short. Now, when he was good, he was good. He was a two-time All-Star, made two-time All-NBA, first team All-NBA one time, second team All-NBA one time. He was a Finals MVP. He was a regular season MVP. But I just feel like in order to be one of the greatest top 75 players of all time, you need a longer prime than what he had. He was in his prime for a couple years, and then he went to Boston and played a reserve role, won a six-man year, got a couple rings. But I just feel like his prime was just not long enough. And I mean, he had the potential. We know he had a dominant college career. He was great at UCLA and all those things. But when he was with Portland, he was good, and then he had the feet injuries, and it just messed up his career and derailed him. So
even with him having an MVP and a six-man and a championship.
I mean, he had an MVP. That's one season, though. I mean, you can have a great one season, but does that mean that you're a great as far as the top 75 players ever?
I just bring it
up. I feel like, I know we love championships, but I don't feel like rings should be your best attribute to say you're one of the best players ever. Because teams win rings, individuals don't. It was just one of the reasons why I took Bill Sharman off. Bill Sharman was played with the Boston Celtics with Cousy and Russell. He was maybe the third best player on those teams. He was an 8-time All-Star. He averaged 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But back then, it was only 9 teams in the NBA. The Celtics had everybody. So I think one of the main reasons he made the top 75 was because he was a champion. They won 4 rings. Yeah. But once again, he was not the star. It was Russell and Cousy. Those were the 2 best players. So the third best player off those championship teams back when it was only 9. It was 9 teams his last year, 8 teams any year before that. So I just feel like 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He wasn't the best player on his team, even though he was he did play a major role in them winning, but back then it just wasn't a lot of players. So I feel like those 2 players, could come off for me.
Shovel, same question to you. But to go back real quick, Square, is it hard to judge players that play in the 60s? Because
yes, I definitely didn't see them, so I had to do a little research about them. But one of the things I seen was just that Cousy and Russell was that was the tandem for Boston back then. Those were the 2 main guys. And winning, we always appreciate winning. So a lot of his attributes are based on they were a winning team. And Boston was dominant in the 60s, we know that.
Yeah, they rarely lost.
Yeah, they won every game pretty much.
They were just the best team back then.
They won every game.
Best coach, best player.
Yeah, they had it all. Red Auerbach is just it's just crazy. Shovel, who you taking off the list? Or are you taking anybody off the list?
So I do concur with what you said. It is hard to judge people that you didn't see play the 50s and 60s. However, I grew up an NBA nerd watching NBA Classic and all those things, so I know a little bit about players. But with that being said, those were always the hardest to judge. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to play devil's advocate today. I didn't really have a problem with the list. I mean, the list is the list. There was no particular glaring people that I said needed to come off. Nor did I feel like there was anybody that I just had to force in. However, I'll go through a list of names if you want to take them off. Bill Sharman was one of them. Newer players. I felt like Damian Lillard could have been somebody that could have came out. Dave Cowens, Billy Cunningham, Dave DeBusschere, Dolph Shays. I mean,
you taking the whole '60s era.
There's a list of milkmen that could probably come off the list. So that's why I say I'm not going to argue anybody's definite. Of those would be the people that I would say, but there's no definite for me that I say just has to come off.
Okay, I understand that. Adi Wiley, talk to me, man. Who you taking off the list? Who shouldn't be in the top 76?
Well, Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Bill Walton. I got 4 people I'm taking off the list.
Okay, I like it. Okay.
So Bill Walton's off. He played more than 60 games in a season only 3 times in his career, all right? And he only made the All-Star team twice in his career. And he missed a grand total of 680 games in his career. Now, somehow, some way, he was the 1986 Sixth Man of the Year. He only averaged 7 points and 7 rebounds a game that season. And
Boston broke like a
won the championship.
They won a championship, and I think they had like the best regular season.
And they
68 wins.
It's a premium.
That's one of the greatest teams of all time.
It's a premium put on winning as well, and that's what I meant to say earlier. Is that I'm actually different from you. I actually do appreciate people when judging this who have wins and on winning teams and rings. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, I feel like he should not have won that Sixth Man of the Year award. And then you got, and somehow, some way, he won the 1978 MVP, but he only played 58 games that year. I mean, it's a lot of people that love Bill Walton.
Yeah, Bill Walton is.
And I do love him as a person.
Yeah, he's funny. Hey, I miss him broadcasting the NBA games.
Yeah, but I just think so I'm taking him off. Then I'm taking another guy. He's one of only 2 guys in NBA history to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. The Washington Bullets, Wes Unseld.
Ooh,
Wes Unseld.
That's a wrap. I'm taking off the full court pass.
The outlet pass.
Is that the best outlet pass in history?
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking him off. He played 13 seasons in the NBA. After his 5th season in the league, he only averaged double-digit in points 1 time, okay? He only made 1 All-NBA team. I'm taking him off. I'm also taking off a guy that's number 3 all-time in wins for a coach, Lenny Wilkens. I'm taking him off.
Lenny was nice, man.
He was nice.
Lenny was nice. I don't know.
Nice point guard. Really nice. I love him. I love to see the classic sports with Lenny Wilkens.
So you keeping Bill Sherman but taking Lenny off?
I'm taking Lenny off. You know, I like wins. I do put it. If you are like a top 2-3 player on the team, like you play a huge role, you know, I do give you credit for the wins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Lenny Wilkens played 15 seasons in the league, but mostly with the St. Louis Hawks and the Seattle Supersonics. He never won an NBA championship, but he won as a coach with the Sonics. But not as a player.
Not as a player.
And he never made the All-NBA team. I'm taking Lenny Wilkens off. And one last guy, I'm taking off Jerry Lucas.
Damn.
Now, in his first 7 seasons in the NBA, he put up some huge rebound and points numbers, mostly with the Cincinnati Royals, 1 season with the San Francisco Warriors. But then in 1971, he joined the Knicks along with Earl the Pearl Monroe. Both of those guys left their team.
Jesus, right?
Black Jesus.
Yeah, the Black Jesus.
Both of them, they left their squad, went to the Knicks in 71. The Knicks did win. They joined with Willis Reed. They already had Walt Frazier. Dave DeBusschere was on that squad.
Correct.
And so they had a
whip. They had a whip.
And they won the championship in 1973. And Jerry Lucas get a lot of credit for that 1 ring he got, but he only averaged 9.7 rebounds in that season when they won the championship.
That's the team Phil was on, right?
Yeah, I believe Phil Jackson was on that team.
The Zen Master.
Yeah. And Bill Bradley, wasn't he a politician?
Yeah, he's a senator now.
They had a whip.
I don't know if he's still a senator.
Well, he was a senator.
Yeah. But I'm taking off Jerry Lucas. So those are my 4 guys I'm taking off.
I had him on my list as one of the other people that was possible.
Jerry Lucas?
Yeah, I had him on the list.
Okay. Well, I got I think we all agree across the board about Bill Walton. Bill Walton,
It's just that short prime.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't long. I know. And now, if this was a conversation about college basketball players, he might be one of the top 3. You know, this is college basketball, but we talking about the NBA. So, the other one, Anthony Davis. As much as I love Anthony Davis, hurt all the time. He puts up great numbers. Talent-wise, there's no question about it. It's just talent is undeniable, but it's just not enough to put him at top 75 with that type of talent. And winning score, I do agree with you. I don't put everything on rings, but I do like to see some type of like, if your team ain't as strong, I like to see if you can like at least will your team to some playoffs or at least, make some things happen. That's what great players do. Like, even though they don't have the best team, they might lose, but they'll get their team where, so.
I was just about to ask, with the tie with him and Damian Lillard, is that, and you just kind of explained why you probably put Lillard over there, because we've seen Lillard do that, and we haven't really seen Davis do that.
I mean, that's yeah. And but believe it or not, I got Dame Lillard as the other player. Now Dame Lillard, don't get me wrong, it's Dame time. He's must-see TV, but I just feel like as players that's got that accolades is important too. Like I know that could be judgmental. You can debate who should have got it this year or that year, but I'll probably go with Dame Lillard too. I really didn't focus on none of the 60s and 70s players because it's just it's hard to judge, and I really didn't see them. So
You're taking 3 off. Right?
I'm taking 3 off. Yep, and I'm putting 3 on.
Okay.
I'm putting 3 on. I'm putting 3 on. So Chavo, you was good with the list, right?
I was good, but I named some names that could potentially come off that I thought, and we agreed on a lot of them. I had Walton down, I had Lucas down. There were a few, Bill Sharman, that we all agreed on. Like I said, there's nobody that is, to me, must come off. It's not a travesty that they're on the list.
I think Bill Walton's a travesty.
Yeah. In defense of Walton, like I said, I think that he won. He was 6th man. He was MVP. He has 2 championships, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
that's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was the reason why of all the people you said that Lenny Wilkins. So wait. He's the travesty, but you said Lenny Wilkins was not an All-Star. He made the All-Star. He was all NBA, no championships, but you say him over Walton.
Yeah, because he had a long career. He played 15 years in the league.
So you give longevity over performance. If he had better numbers,
it's a lot of factors into it.
A couple great
I agree with you, but that's the reason why I say he had a longevity. That's like saying Kevin Willis is better than somebody else because he played a lot of years.
Let me put it to you like this: would you, if you were starting a team right now, would you want to have a Bill Walton career guy on your squad or a Lenny Wilkins career?
If I'm gonna get those championship years, I'm gonna go with the Bill Walton.
Well, he won
1 ring.
1 year was he the man as a.
But I'm just saying.
The year that he won a championship, just say every 7 and 7.
But I'm with you. He can come off, but I'm just for the fodder of it all, just debating about the people who it is. That's all I say. So I'm not
13 points.
I'm not gonna go outside with a
double 10.5 rebounds.
I'm not gonna go outside with a sign and say like I'm here for Bill. I'm not gonna to march for Bill Walton. I'm just saying.
All right, so Chavo, I know you say you cool with the list, but do you got any prospects that could have been in the list?
So. And once again, I did not have anybody that was just a travesty. I know some of you other people do. There are some people
That's Bill for me.
That I would I mean, but there are some people that you have definition put in. Like I know Squirrel.
It's coming.
He got a Dwight Howard jersey underneath that shirt. I'm telling you that. But for me, there was no definite people. However, there was a lot of talk about the people that were the most snubs, and that's kind of what I looked at. And so I know you don't agree, but big talk was around Klay Thompson. And then there was also talk around Tony Parker with his winning and his rings and Finals MVP and things like that.
Like I said, I don't think when I tell you you're a top 75 player, the first thing I should say you shouldn't be. But he got rings. Yeah, that's a team thing. What did he do? Rings should not be.
I understand, but in your defense, when we had a conversation, you said Parker was one of the top point guards of his era, but you felt like there were other people that were
above. A lot of point guards.
But
it's a heavy point guard era now.
Exactly, and that's why I say like just the people who seem to be the biggest snub. They brought up Chris Bosh, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, even Pau Gasol. Yeah. I even heard some Dikembe Mutombo. But those would be the players that I would focus on if I was going to, if I am taking the Bill Sharman out, the Bill Walton, it would be one of those that I put in. I'm not here to cape for any of them because I think they didn't make the list. So it is what it is. But those would be the people that I would focus on, that I would say are here. And I'm interested in what y'all.
Squirrel. All right, who should be on that list? You got
my biggest snub, of course, is Dwight Howard.
Absolutely.
I know people love to focus on offensive stats and things of that nature, but this is a 3-time defensive player of the year. That means for 3 years he was the best defender in the league.
Yeah.
I feel like defense is just as important as offense.
Absolutely.
So if you are the 3-time best defender in the world, that's a big deal to me. That's like the MVP of defense.
True.
You were 3 times. He's an 8-time All-Star.
Yeah.
He's led the league in rebounding 5 times. He's led the league in block 2 times. 5-time All-Defense. 5-time All-NBA First Team. Which means you were one of the 5 best players in the world 5 times, 5 seasons.
Yeah.
He was also an NBA. He made the NBA second team once. He was 2 times. He was an NBA third team. 4 times he's finished in the top 5 for MVP vote. So, and I'm willing to say for 10 years he was the best center in the NBA.
Damn.
For a 10-year period.
Yeah.
But when he was with Orlando, they went to the finals.
They did.
And even though they lost in 5 games, that was a good series. I mean, Courtney Lee missed a layup to win 1 game.
Yeah.
Like, they were in the game. They were in against the Lakers. And if you think about the other players that was on that team, Hedo Turkoglu,
Rashard Lewis.
none of those are Hall of Famers.
Oh, they had Jameer Nelson.
None of those guys are Hall of Famers.
None of those are on the top 75.
Right. So and let's not even though
White's not on there either.
and even though I hate to say this, they beat LeBron. They beat LeBron.
They did beat LeBron.
None of those other guys are nothing special besides Dwight. Who else is on that team that you were talking about?
They got an Eastern Conference. They got an Eastern
Who else on
Conference.
that team are you talking about? Is just like
They got an Eastern Conference Finals ring that year.
Yeah,
Good job.
they did. And whoever fight against the Lakers, that was a great team. But my thing is, Dwight was the focus of that team.
And that was a great stat about finishing an MVP, even though he didn't win it. My question though also is that I just want to know. You brought up defense, so how do y'all feel about Ben Wallace? Because he's the only one that has 3 Defensive Player of the Year. Now I don't feel like he should be in the top 75, but I believe Ben has 3 or 4, doesn't he?
He might have 4, I think.
So with him having more, you don't elevate your list over.
He was a liability on offense. Dwight was never a liability. Dwight was a walking double team. That's the reason that team worked. They literally surrounded Dwight by shooters.
Yep.
He got double, he passed, and they shot 3s.
Hey, that's a good argument for Ben Wallace.
Nah, I do like Ben.
I'm devil's advocate today. I'm just bringing my horns out. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody will ever say Ben was the best center in the league. Dwight, we know, was the best center in the league. It's the reason Shaq hated on him, because he all constantly hates on him because he had the Superman name like him. Shaq didn't like that.
Can we agree
that was a force?
That was also a downtime in the league for centers, though, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like Roy Hibbert was probably like one of the top 5 centers at the time.
Maybe.
Yeah, all right. I'm just
But Dwight in any era, with his athleticism, we had never seen athleticism like that.
Oh yeah, he was athletic.
He was ridiculously athletic. He changed shots, he rebounded. I mean,
Without a
just a
doubt.
great player.
All right,
And then my second player was Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady.
I brought him up.
Yeah.
He was 7 times he made the All-NBA team. 2-time first, 3 times second, 2-time third. He was a 7-time All-Star. Led the league in scoring 2 times. And just, we know, because we watched the league at that time, he was definitely regarded as one of the best players in the league for a period. At time, we argued Kobe and...
That's the good argument for him at that time.
It was Kobe and Tracy as who's the best players in the league.
No doubt.
That matchup with him and Kobe did used to be special.
So Tracy McGrady was a problem. I mean, he could score, he could defend, he could pass. I mean, there were literally no holes in his game. Now, he did get injured, and it did shorten his career. But if we're going to put Bill Walton with his 2 All-Stars and a couple seasons of being good, we can't hate on Tracy for having a short prime. Tracy's prime was definitely better than Bill Walton's prime.
By far. It's not even close.
And it was even longer. Even though it wasn't as long as we liked, it was longer. So for 7 seasons, he was definitely great. Even when he went to Houston, he was still a good player. He had the back problems which hurt him, but
he didn't have an MVP or a 6 man either.
No, he didn't have an MVP.
I'm just
I know you don't care about. I mean, I know you. He never made it out the first round of the playoffs. He never made it out the first round of the playoffs. That's a big deal.
As the star of the team, he didn't, but he did play with the Spurs.
He came at the end of the season.
Yeah, he got him a little cheap ring.
I'm pretty sure.
It ain't a cheap ring.
My favorite story
you know what?
is when he went to the press conference and said, the first time I'm making it out the first round. Didn't he say that? And then like they.
But if we're gonna do that, one of the greatest
mistaken.
players of all time, Jazz, Pistol Pete, didn't win a damn thing. But we know he was great. So your team sucking does not have nothing. Like, I can be great, and if you surround me with 4 bums, it's nothing I can do about that.
Well, he tweaked and left his cousin Vince Carter. He shouldn't. He made a huge mistake by leaving him.
But I do think it allow his game to grow.
Yeah.
It's not like a James Harden.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're playing, your game won't grow. If you have roles in you.
Yeah.
James Harden wouldn't be James Harden if he stayed with
I would like to see them together a little bit longer, but
T-Mac did say he regret.
He might regret it now that his game get blocked. And then don't forget, Grant Hill was supposed to be with him. Grant Hill was.
he didn't know he was gonna be hurt.
Right.
Y'all know
If Grant Hill's healthy, you never know what
That's a whole different thing.
Oh yeah, they would have went to the final.
I just think those two players were dominant players, and even though we want to focus on team, individually those were two great players. And I feel like when we're talking about the top 75 players, we're talking about what you can do as a person, not what your team did. So those would be my two additions.
Adi.
Okay.
Who you have four. You have four.
Okay,
Bill Walton, Jerry Lucas, Wes Unseld. Who was your fourth person?
Jerry Lucas. You say Jerry
Lucas, Unseld,
Bill Walton,
and
Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So who you taking out?
Okay.
I mean, who you putting in? I'm sorry.
Dwight Howard.
Definitely.
He's number 10 all time in rebounds. Okay, total rebounds in NBA history, and all the things that Squirrel said. The wonderful things about Dwight Howard. Somebody hates Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
It's him. And it's a whole lot.
I think it's his personality. People don't think he's not serious enough. And I think people have a problem.
And Kobe didn't like him. He called him soft.
Yeah.
He enjoys life. He seems to be a guy that's just happy.
Enjoys life. Okay. That's a wonderful quote. Enjoys life.
So I put in Dwight Howard.
Okay.
And I'm also putting in Alex English.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
He can score that ball.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
put in
that.
Alex English, man. In 1976.
I like that.
He was a second-round pick by the Milwaukee Bucks. He played a couple of years there. They didn't really use him. They traded him to the Pacers.
Oh yeah, Pacers.
Then he played a couple years there, and they didn't really use him.
Yeah.
He didn't get his first start until his 6th season in the NBA. Okay, with the Denver Nuggets. All right, and he went crazy.
Yes, he did.
And he averaged 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in his Denver Nuggets career. All right, he was a 1983 scoring champ. All right, and he made 8 All-Star games, and he only missed 7 games in his 11-year career with the Denver Nuggets. The man was durable. Okay.
And in the 80s, he's the leading scorer of the 80s. He scored the most points in the 80s, in the decade of the 80s.
Dude should have made the list.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, that's an argument.
So I'm putting Alex English in there.
I ain't mad.
Hey, I'm putting in Tony Parker.
Ooh.
I'm putting Tony Parker.
Yeah, I like it.
He's a 4-time All-NBA guy, 4-time NBA champ, 2007 Finals MVP, and he's number 5 all-time in NBA history and NBA playoff history in assists. Okay, only people that's above him is Magic, LeBron. You also got Jason Kidd and John Stockton.
Yep.
Those are the only guys that's ahead of him. I'm putting in Tony Parker.
Okay.
And the last guy I'm putting in, the original King, Bernard King.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. He was a scorer. That was Carmelo before Melo.
Yeah,
he was Melo before Melo.
I'm putting in Bernard King. He's one of only 12 players that have back-to-back 50-point games. He was a 1984-85 scoring champ. He got snubbed from several All-Star teams. In seasons where he played at least 68 games, and including the 1980-81 season where he averaged 22 points, 6.8 rebounds, and shot 58% from the field. All right, should have made the All-Star team. Okay, and so now he tore his ACL in March of 1985.
Yeah.
Then a few months later, he tore the ACL. Then a few months later, the New York Knicks drafted Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
And my man Bernard King said his biggest regret is not playing with Patrick.
Yeah.
And he said Ewing would have got that ring if he would have played with Ewing and everything.
They might have. That's a good
inside out.
Yeah, they might have.
So I'm putting Bernard King there.
I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. So I know I took out Bill Walton, Dame Lillard, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. I mean, that's a no-brainer. This shouldn't even be a conversation. This should not be a conversation at all. I got Tracy McGrady. I'm with you for everything you said. T-Mac is one of the most talented basketball players you've ever seen step on the basketball court. And then y'all brought up some interesting names. I thought about Alonzo Mourning. It was Derrick Rose got more of a case than Bill Walton.
He do?
He has more of a case than Derrick. Look,
he's in there. I mean, they pretty much.
Yeah,
his prime is over.
Yeah. Rookie of the year and the MVP, like, but I'm
not mad at you if you put Rose.
I'm not.
Walton got the Finals MVP. He won a championship.
He did.
That's the thing. He got
Portland, they were good.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna put Rose in there. But Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars. I was thinking about Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars,
Best defenders.
yeah, one of the best defenders, the second best player. I mean, one of those great Pistons teams, he was the second best player. Him and Isaiah Thomas was the best backcourt of the 80s.
He gets overlooked.
Yeah, you know. And Michael Jordan, out his own mouth, said that is the best defender that he went against. Joe Dumars do not get enough credit. He was a scorer, he had a shot, he had defense, and was a Finals MVP against Portland. Yeah, so Joe Dumars should be in this top 76 list.
I like the pick.
Who's the three player? Joe Dumars, Dwight, and who?
Tracy McGrady. T.I.M.E.
T.I.M.E.
I almost put Tony Parker in. I thought about Tony Parker because he's a Finals MVP, like you said, but I just did. It was a lot of seasons where he was just average.
One of the guys.
Yeah. So he was just one of the guys. But yeah, I got Joe Dumars don't get enough respect because on that Pistons team.
That Pistons team as a whole don't get enough respect.
Yeah, that team was loaded.
That could beat the Bulls, the Celtics, and the Lakers. That was an era where they went against some pretty good teams and they beat them.
They beat them all.
Should have had 3 rings if Isaiah didn't mess up his ankle too.
All right, so it's on tape. So those are our players. So we took out some, put some in. Anybody overlooking real quick?
Okay, I want to say Mitch Richmond.
Okay.
Mitch Richmond is overlooked. He was cold with the Warriors. And then also Grant Hill, the man on your shirt. Grant Hill was a beast. He had a really solid 7 seasons. All right, the first 6 seasons was great.
Amazing.
And he got hurt, then he came back and had a decent season.
All rookie, 2-time All MVP, Rookie of the Year, and 7-time All Star.
Yeah.
5-time All NBA. So you're right.
I like Grant Hill.
I like that. Did Tim Hardaway make this list?
No.
Tim Hardaway's another guy. You know you got to look at. So I mean, it's a lot of snubs. The NBA has a lot of great players. Klay Thompson is another one.
Vince Carter.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we can debate about this all day, but those are, I guess that's it. So, I mean, it's hard to pick out the top 75 out of thousands of players.
Exactly.
So, but.
And we have to go back, like you say, to the 50s.
Yeah. So, we shall see. But, thanks for tuning in. This is Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. I want to give a special thanks to Squirrel, Chevel, Rax. You watch a Spectator Sporting. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell. Leave a comment. Also, listen on Spotify. We out. Peace.